What's up, YouTube? This is Gabe with Cinema Heads, and today we got a review for you, so stay tuned. What's up, guys? This is Gabe with Cinema Heads. Today we're going to be reviewing a personal favorite of mine. The movie is Searching. The movie is PG-13. It's 102 minutes long. It is a drama mystery thriller. The director of this movie is Anish Chaganty. I believe I said that correctly. The cast includes John Cho, who plays David Kim, Sarah Sun, who plays Pamela Kim, Michelle Law, who plays Margot, Joseph Lee, who plays Peter, and Deborah Messing, who plays Detective Vic. The movie is about a family, John Cho, Sarah Sun, and Michelle Law. Sarah Sun, I believe I say that correctly, she ends up getting cancer. She ends up dying. This leaves David Cho and Michelle Law's character to be together and not really have a great relationship because they kind of don't know what to do with the fact that the mom has died. So they communicate with each other all through text messaging and all through computer FaceTiming and stuff like that. So that's essentially how this movie is filmed. The movie is not filmed like a normal movie where it's stepped back. You can see all the actors and stuff like that. It's filmed through a computer screen, cell phone. Also, like, you get news bits, so somebody's searching online and they're watching news clips and stuff like that. So that's essentially how the whole entire movie is. This movie, it strikes a nerve with families. The reason why I say that is because obviously, John Cho, the whole movie is essentially about Michelle Law going missing and him doing everything he can to find her, basically going through police reports and stuff like that, taking matters into his own hands and trying to find her himself. So it's basically a father losing his daughter, doing everything he can so he can have her back in his life. With that come a lot of crazy stuff. The whole entire movie gave me anxiety, just sitting there watching it, wondering where the daughter was and how he was going to get her back, or if she was dead or not. So eventually he, of course, like I said, she goes missing. John Cho ends up calling the cops, and they end up putting Deborah Messing's character, Detective Vic, onto the case of finding her. She does extremely well in this movie. I never really thought she was a bad actress at all. John Cho does amazing in this movie. You may have seen him in other movies like Harold and Kumar and the Star Trek movies. So the whole entire movie, they're kind of interacting with each other. He's trying to help the investigation, even though she keeps telling him not to. But he keeps trying to help no matter what, because that's what a father's going to do, is he's going to try to find his own daughter. In the movie, you end up finding out that Peter, which is played by Joseph Lee, who's John Cho's brother in the movie, has had a lot of contact with her, and he starts thinking the worst, that he either took her or he killed her, or even worse, they've done something together. That's kind of like the weird feeling that I got with the scene with the brother. Essentially, you find out that he doesn't. The daughter was going over to his house to smoke weed and to basically talk about her problems. One of the big issues that comes across this is that the brother is pointing out to John Cho, like, you were trying to use your daughter to help you get over your wife dying, when essentially she needed you to get over her mom dying. And, they kind of have this little fight. And during the fight, Deborah Messing's character is trying to call him and text him and say, hey, we found the guy. Some random guy goes on the news and says that he took her and he killed her. So then you think the movie is done. So you're like, okay, well, that's it. Like, the guy found her, the guy killed her. That's it. Case solved. So John Cho he still believes that his daughter is somewhere alive. He ends up calling the police department to try to get Deborah Messing, like, on the phone. And, he's like, it's a blessing that she's on my case, that, you guys assigned her to me. And they're like, we didn't assign her to you. She volunteered to go onto your case. So then he's kind of like, wait, what? You know, she said that she was assigned to me. So then he's like, okay, well, you know, maybe she misspoke or she's lying to me. He researches her, and he finds out that the guy who admitted to killing her was actually in a picture with her when he was investigating her to see, you know, what she has done in the past, how successful she was, to see if he could try to find, or she could try to find his daughter. So that brings up a whole nother thing. So then he starts thinking, okay, well, she's fishy. She's doing something. He calls the cops and they arrest her. And come to find out, the whole entire actual plot of the story was his daughter goes to a lake, and her son, Deborah Messing's son, goes to the same lake. In the movie, there's a lot of context of why they're at the lake. She is a piano player, and she is supposed to be going to these classes where he's paying $100. She hasn't gone in months, so she's taking the money because she's getting catfished by Deborah Messing's son, and so she's trying to be a nice person, give all this money to him, and then he feels really bad, so he goes to return it to her. Well, in the meantime, she's extremely high. She starts panicking, thinking that he's trying to do something more with her, so they're in this fight, and he defends himself and pushes her off of the cliff. That's right. He pushes her off a cliff. After this, he panics, calls his mom, Deborah Messing, Detective Vic, and she's basically like, I will take care of it. So she does tons of things. She throws Margot's car into a lake. She basically blackmailed the dude to say that he kidnapped her and killed her, and then killed himself. Which, who knows if that was the case, she probably killed him. She set pretty much everything up, so when they were searching for her, they had like a large group searching for her in this forest. She purposely kept going away from the spot that she knew she was at. And she's confessing all this stuff, basically saying that they eventually ask her, you know, like, why did you do this? And she was like, he's my son. Like, what was I supposed to do? Obviously turned her son. I mean, not really turned her son in. I mean, obviously, you know, call an ambulance, you know, and get this girl found. Like, you just like basically killed her and killed another person just to save your son. Like, that's crazy. So then during this whole time, it's rained. That's actually quite important. I didn't think it was. They're in the car driving her to jail, and she tells him that, you know, she's got to be dead. She's been there for like 7 days without water, but it did rain. So he said no, she would only have to be there for 2 days without water. So he's like, oh my God, she might still be alive. So they eventually take him to where they threw her off a cliff. Rescue team goes down there, and he's just waiting, like panically. He's like going over the cliff looking, and they're trying to back him away so he doesn't fall. Sure enough, they find her, they bring her up, they revive her, and she's safe and sound. With her coming back up, they pretty much, you know, take her to a hospital, and then it's continued. Like I said, it's all filmed on your cell phone and on a camera. They show her recuperating, and then finally she's back to normal, and he and her have a new type of relationship. So it's a very wonderful story to see it, like, the end happen. But I will tell you right now, I mean, it's gonna give you anxiety watching this movie and seeing everything that happens, and being, you know, like, if you are a parent, you're gonna have anxiety. I will tell you that. It is the worst case scenario that you could possibly think of as a parent. But everything John Cho did to, you know, to find his daughter, I mean, I could say personally that I would do the same thing. So it was a great movie. The acting was actually really good. The plot, the story was amazing. I didn't think it was too long. There was a lot of scenes in there that made sense, even though they didn't really quite go with the story. But I mean, essentially, it shows how he's acting and how more and more as the days goes on, he's starting to get like more panicky, more crazy because he's trying to find it. So it makes perfect sense. The movie, I give it a 8 out of 10 because it was that good. I really feel like you guys should go watch it. The movie itself was so good that even by watching this review and me kind of telling you what all happened, it doesn't do the movie justice. So definitely go check it out. It's probably one of my favorite movies. And like I said, it was a sleeper movie. Like, it came out, didn't really have a lot of buzz. Haven't really heard a lot about it. But International Movie Database gave it a 7.7 stars out of 10. So it definitely is worth watching. So other than that, I think that is pretty much it. I don't really have anything else. So I guess do all the normal things. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you haven't. Make a comment below if you did like this movie, or if you didn't like this movie, tell me why. Also, if there's something that you guys would like us to see and review, please give us a shout out in the comments and let us know. We do read our comments actively, and we do look to see if there's anything new that we would love to watch. So just give us a shout out. Let us know what you want to see. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. And other than that, I think this video is boom. It's done. So, see ya.